I would have been in pieces. I would have been so upset. So I just can't imagine what they're going through. They must be a very tough time. A few of them made it out, but a lot of them are still stuck in there.
In a week when politicians were criticised for not showing empathy, Ham was determined to do what he could.
I want to meet the people because these are the people who really deserve the credit. You know, these are the people who are doing a great thing. People who were helping, when the fire was going on, these are the people that ran in there to try to save people. So, you know, I got a lot of respect for these people. That's why I take my time to walk around and meet them and shake their hand and say, what you guys are doing, keep it up.
In a street near the devastated tower, the Olympic champion met 23-year-old amateur boxer Paul Meneser, who escaped from the 6th floor in just the clothes he stood up in.
He's come down here, he's doing welcoming, he's showing love and affection to people. He's got practically everything. He basically gave me his card, said he would contact me his number, so he told me to contact him if anything I need, and that's really, really reassuring. My hero in boxing has obviously said that to me.
Amir Khan knows his visit won't change anything here. He says he just wanted to let the people know that they're not alone. And the Brady Sky News in West London.
Many locals and volunteers have complained that victims of the tower block fire have been left themselves. One man who heckled the Conservative Minister Amir Lechman over Theresa May's lack of action at the Grenfell Tower has told Sky News her statements and promises have changed nothing.
Is that not a promise to come and speak to people directly? I think that would give people a lot of reassurance. The deer lost friends in the Grenfell Tower fire. On Friday, he found them Corbyn's a good man, and he met them. He came and met the people. He didn't come with money. And not even no one saw her. Why is Theresa May coming here with a load of police walking around, not meeting no one, not meeting me? Enough is enough. I went to that tower. I have a right to be angry. I've got friends in there. Since then, the Prime Minister has met with victims, albeit in private meetings. Now, Mrs May has admitted the response to this crisis wasn't good enough. A series of swift measures are now promised. So what's the reaction from one of her harshest critics? You said at the time that no matter what the Prime Minister does now, I've looked at what she said. Right now, the moment is finished. Why is done it? Well, when she was here in the first session, the dear said she lost friends in the fire. Al-Muhammad family, all to do with death. Yasin and he were like brothers. Are you angry at the presumed bad state of the tower, or are you angry at the way that it's been handled? I'm angry at both. I'm angry at the state of the tower because the state of the tower is why the fire spread so quickly.
To recalibrate the camera, that's why.
The reaction and what has happened and what Theresa May has not done.
Today's mosque has been a centre for relief since the Grenfell Tower was evacuated. It started with food and beds. Now they've set up financial aid and counsellors. I'm told they're desperate for authorities to help them coordinate things around the community. The word they're using, leadership. Most of the evacuees we speak to say they are getting help through cash or temporary accommodation. But the overall perception
got off the plane
is there's no one visibly in
and
charge
he
of
was
this
phoning
complex
this guy
situation.
to get his key in.
We got the first hints of this on the first night, as donations piled up on the streets. Residents worked into the early hours.
Walking around,
Not one person
it's
from an
like 2 in the
official, whether it's
morning,
from
innit?
town or
Walking around,
from any public office of any sort, has
He
come
sat
and
in
shown any, taken any
Starbucks, and loads of
responsibility to
crackers have
sharing
come
the
in,
load.
innit?
The council tell me they have been getting their hands dirty. They've since taken over the logistics and storage of donations, for example. Without a strong visual presence, it has felt to some volunteers
so he
that
found
they've
this
been doing
place,
it
this cheap motel.
That, the
It's
Prime
like
Minister says,
$60 for a
will
night.
change.
It's
Joe
like
Tidy
about,
Scones.
Where's that
£40.
guy?
Well, earlier we spoke to the
No, he's
DJ
got to see him
Margaret
tomorrow
Inglis
because
and
his phone nearly died.
volunteering to
I
support the
just texted him.
victims. Here's what she had to
And he's
say.
like, oh yeah, my phone's just about to die.
They're
It's
incredibly
3 in the morning out
traumatized.
there.
It's like, you know, I'm speaking to people, like asking them what food they want, and
he was like, he was going to cry and everything.
It's
Mum
just,
is like,
it's just
can't
so
find a
sad.
place
It's so
to
sad
sleep.
that what's happening. It's like, and the community is what's come together
the fuck is
to
that?
make sure that these people are all right. You know, I'm just a normal person that's trying to do
She's just
good
a
and trying to
normal
help,
person.
and it's like, you know, it just seems
Sounds
like
like a
there's
hood
some
bitch.
They just don't, it seems like they don't care. And it's like one thing I do want to state, please, all the stuff that's been donated, it's been put in storage. I don't want to see that go to I don't know where.
When you get past 1 million views, that's when you start getting money.
The survivors in
You
there,
feel.
they should get the proceeds from that. Donations. We were told actually,
How much you get
people on the ground
that 1 million?
volunteering that no more clothes, no more donations, no more food, because it's not being distributed.
And then when
The
you
reason
do
it's
your
so
bedrooms
full
and
and the
you
reason
get the
that
lid,
everywhere's so
you get like
it's because
£50
it's
every
being
bedroom.
given to these centres, and then
That's
the
why
centres are
they've
not
got all
giving it
that.
to the people. So obviously you're going to be broke. But if you're distributing it to the people who have space, but even not. So I'm here, me and Najla are here, and we're helping. We're the go-between people.
When it's over here.
So what do you want to be done? If you saw Theresa May, what would you say? What she needs to do, Prime Minister, to make sure that these people needs get what they need? She needs to make sure that they've got money. They haven't got money. Their bank cards are burnt. Their car keys are burnt. They need money. They need accommodation. They need to know that they're going to be okay. They need to know that they're going to be okay. And they don't know that. I just want to ask you about the money point, because we've heard that the government is donating £5 million to the schools. The public have donated, I think, upwards of 2 million or 1.26 in just giving. Is that getting through? Has anyone received any cash in their hands? The Zakat Foundation, I've seen at the hotels, giving the people money. I've seen it myself. I haven't seen no government officials giving them any money. I'm just being honest, I haven't seen it. You know, and it's like until we see some kind of
Did you jump my camera?
all they have is us. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. If people want to help, like, the support's been amazing. It really has. I'm exhausted. I've not slept. I've not eaten. But how can I eat and sleep when...
Delicious aromas from a steamy evening in Asia.
The next couple of days are going to stay mostly sunny and fresh away from far north and west, but there will be an increasing risk of occasional thunderstorms in the south. Central, southern and eastern parts of the country already have temperatures in the mid-20s, and those values are set to rise potentially to a high of 32 degrees Celsius. And northern parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland will be largely cloudy with some patchy rain at times. Winds will be light everywhere, although cooling sea breezes should set in throughout the afternoon. There's an outside chance of isolated thundery showers breaking out over East Anglia and the South. Any showers will dry out later to leave a fine evening for most, and long spells of sunshine. We'll see warm and humid overnight. This is Sky News coming up. Calls for more help for the victims of the Grenfell fire disaster. We'll have the very latest after this break.
Rest in peace, man. 1, 2, 3 selfies.
Yeah, so what we stopped doing that. I was kind of frantically that was bad on those days. Something would have been involved.
Get your ticket before midnight on the 21st of June.
Who's that?
Sanderson, the Prince of Eye, the Conservatory.
Just what makes Thomas Sanderson Conservatory Ballets so special? Is it because you've got a team of experts who remove dirt from all those hard-to-reach places? Or is it because that as well as cleaning the conservatory, they protect it for the year ahead? In the end, the difference is clear. Thomas Sanderson Conservatory Care. Order an exterior ballet today and get an interior ballet too.
That'll get you confident for simple conversation after only a few days of learning. So you'll be mingling with the locals in no time. Try for free today. Another break. From Super Break. Book a 2-night Lake District break with dinner from £100 at superbreak.com.
I reckon this one.
Guys,
What about this one?
This one's got a chair on it. That'll be £700 a month for 25 years.
Oh wait, what?
Take cards?
They can't.
Obviously, a mortgage isn't a cake, so don't treat it like one. Over 1 million people have come to L&C for expert mortgage advice, making the whole process. You get the idea.
What the hell?
For fee-free mortgage advice, get in touch and let's see how we can help you too.
Final one coming up in the US Open Championship. After a history-making third round here at Erin Hills, that history made by Justin Thomas. This is eagle putt in the 18th. The round of 63, 9 under par, the best ever to par in a US Open Championship. But he still doesn't lead. That lead is held by Brian Harman, and Brooks Koepka is there as well as Ricky Fowler. A Super Sunday in prospects. Our coverage starts 6 o'clock on Sky Sports 7 on Sky.
That is in.
Questions deepen over the Grenfell Tower fire as the government says the cladding believed to be on the building was banned.
My understanding that the cladding that was reported is also not in accordance with UK building regulations. The cladding that was as reported. However, what we do need to find out is precisely what cladding was used and how it was attached.
The man who heckled a Conservative minister over the PM's lack of action tells Sky News nothing has changed.
Well, I've looked at what she said. I listened to it and heard, read it all. It's too late to be honest.
Also today, Labour refuses to be drawn on single market membership post-Brexit.
Right now,
Philip Hammond attacked the Prime Minister over the election campaign, saying he didn't have the role that he wanted. Nearly 60 people are killed in Portugal by a forest fire. And reports from the US that Beyonce has given birth to twins.
What does it mean by 9?
Good afternoon, this is Sky News at 12. Government ministers have said that the cladding believed to be on the outside of Grenfell Tower was against building regulations. It came as the UK's former fire chief told the Observer newspaper that urgent warnings about inadequate fire safety rules had been ignored by ministers. Sky's Gerard Tubb reports.
As the search for bodies in Grenfell Tower continues, politicians are arguing over how this disaster could happen and what is being done to help people. The Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn said too many are still homeless.
It's unimaginable that you watch people burn to death through the windows of a flat because they can't get out, and then you have a very large number of people looking for somewhere to live now because the Royal Borough Council in Chelsea doesn't have the capacity to deal with the crisis. 400 or so people. Still, most of them have not got somewhere decent or safe or secure to stay.
The plastic cladding used to insulate the tower block last year is a main focus of attention. It was a cheaper option than more fire-resistant materials. The Chancellor Philip Hammond has claimed it was banned in the UK.
My understanding is that the cladding in question, this flammable cladding, which is banned in Europe and the US, is also banned here. Are our regulations correct? Do they permit the right kind of materials and ban the wrong kind of materials? Second question is, were they correctly controlled?
The company that boasted online that it supplied and fitted the cladding has now deleted its web page as a mark of respect. With a criminal investigation underway and a public inquiry to start shortly, London MP David Lammy is questioning whether evidence is being secured by investigators. He's called on the Prime Minister to take urgent action. Amid criticism of the council and government response to the disaster, the community itself has taken control. The minister, local church mediated between angry families and the Prime Minister. Coordinated a visit to number 10 by relatives who left 2.5 hours later without commenting. Their anger, he says, was made clear.
I saw the Prime Minister welling up. Somebody began to sob beside her and she just held her hand for the next 20 minutes. Which wasn't quite the kind of jaw that most of us have of a Prime Minister.
there was real anger expressed at the residents and survivors perceived as a lack of coordination on the ground, a lack of communication, and very little reassurance.
After the meeting, Theresa May released a statement saying the support given to families in the hours after the fire was not good enough. She's encouraged the daily progress reports to ensure survivors are reunited in 3 weeks and will take responsibility for implementing the findings of the inquiry. In the tower block itself, the grim work of recovering bodies continues. Supports have been put in to make it safe for teams to pick through the debris. The police will release pictures of the inside later today to show the daunting task.
Oh, what the hell? No, I'm talking
The protesters on Friday, whose demonstrations flared into violence at Kensington Town Hall, were demanding to know why the flats were not safe. Now, criticism of MPs for ignoring recommendations is growing.
And I completed it.
The police have pledged to immediately share any safety issues uncovered by their criminal investigation into the Grenfell Tower disaster. And the Mayor of London has suggested other high-rise blocks may need to be demolished. Gerard Tubb, Sky News, West London.
Many locals and volunteers have complained that victims of the fire have been left to fend for themselves. One man who heckled the Conservative Minister Andrea Leadsom over Theresa May's lack of action at the Grenfell Tower has told Sky News her statements and promises have changed nothing. Sky's Joe Tidy reports.
Is that not a priority then for the Prime Minister to come and speak to people directly? I think that would give people a lot of reassurance. Nadir lost friends in the Grenfell Tower fire. On Friday, he found an outlet for his anger.
Corbyn, the good man, and he met them. He came and met the people. He didn't come with a bunch of police, and no one saw her. Why is Theresa May coming here with a load of police, walking around, not meeting no one, not meeting a family? Enough is enough. I've got friends in that tower. I have a right to be angry. I've got friends in there.
Since then, the Prime Minister has met with victims, albeit in private meetings. And now Mrs May has admitted the response to this crisis wasn't good enough. A series of swift measures are now promised. So what's the reaction from one of her harshest critics?
You said at the time that no matter what the Prime Minister does now, nothing's going to make up for what's not been done. Do you still feel that way?
Of course I do. I've looked at what she said, and listened to it, and read it all. I mean, it's too late to be honest. Right now, the moment, it's too late. Why wasn't this done in the beginning? Why wasn't it done in the first day when she was here in the first day?
Nadir says he lost friends in the fire. The Al-Wahhabi family, all presumed dead. Yassin and he were like brothers.
Are you angry at the presumed bad state of the tower, or are you angry at the way that it's been handled?
I'm angry at both. I'm angry at the state of the tower because the state of the tower is why the fire spread so quickly. But I'm angry at the reaction and what happened and what Theresa May has not done.
Nadir's mosque has been a centre for relief since the Grenfell Tower was evacuated. It started with food and beds. Now they've set up financial aid and counsellors. I'm told they're desperate for authorities to help them coordinate things around the community. The word they're using is leadership. Most of the evacuees we speak to say they are getting help through cash or temporary accommodation. But the overall perception here is there's no one visibly in charge of this complex situation. We got the first hints of this on the first night. As donations piled up in the streets, residents worked into the early hours.
Not one person from an official, whether it's from the town hall or any public office of any sort, has come and shown taken any responsibility or just sharing the load.
The council tell me they have been getting their hands dirty. They've since taken over the logistics and storage of donations, for example. But without a strong visual presence, it has felt to some volunteers like they've been doing it alone. That, the Prime Minister says, will change. Joe Tidy, Sky News.
And you can watch a special programme on the Grenfell Tower fire this evening on Sky News. That's the Fire of London, tonight at 8 o'clock. Brexit negotiations are due to start tomorrow in Brussels. Our focus specifically on the UK's withdrawal. such as citizens' rights and the UK's financial obligations. Labour's accused the Prime Minister of being in a complete mess ahead of the meeting. The Chancellor confirmed this morning that the UK would definitely be leaving the single market and the customs union. Well, let's go live now to Westminster and our reporter Laura Bundick. And Laura, there's a lot of discussion today, isn't there, about a hard or a soft Brexit?
Yeah, I think there certainly has been, and it's hardly surprising given Theresa May's general election gamble completely failed. It backfired on them. I think many were thinking, would this give sway to Remainers? Could we be heading for that softer Brexit? But today, Chancellor Philip Hammond said quite strongly, no, that wouldn't be the case. But he did make the point that he wanted to make the journey to Brexit as smooth as possible. He said he wanted to get there via a slope, not a cliff edge. Here's what he had to say earlier.
We're leaving the EU, and because we're leaving the EU, we will be leaving the single market. And by the way, we will be leaving the customs union. The question is not whether we're leaving the customs union. The question is, what do we put in place in order to deliver the objectives which the Prime Minister set out in the Lancaster House speech of having no hard land border in Ireland and enabling British goods to flow freely backwards and forwards across the border.
Once you leave the EU, formally you're outside the single market. That's the reality of it. But what we're trying to get is tariff-free access to the single market.
So that's not membership? No. Membership's off the table?
What we're saying, I don't care how we get it in terms of the structure, as long as we get access to the single market tariff-free, and that means also we're not constrained by the existing rules of the single market, and that's obviously pretty. Now, again, the structures become immaterial to achieve the objectives.
I think you'd be forgiven for thinking, what is the difference between the two sides there? And this is just the day before day one of negotiations are due to start. Interesting as well in the newspapers today, much more speculating the future of Theresa May, even talk of a stalking horse challenge on her leadership. Philip Hammond, the Chancellor, probably not even expecting to be in position. He was much tipped to have been sacked as Chancellor had Theresa May won the mandate everyone expected her to. Spoke quite strongly about the election campaign. He was disappointed, he said he didn't have a bigger role, and he also thought had the Conservatives focused more on their economic successes, he thinks the election result could have been very different. Let's have another listen to him.
My role in the election campaign was not the one I would like it to be. I did a lot of travelling around. Well, I was absolutely. I met lots of very interesting people. I heard lots of interesting stories. Look, I would have liked to have made much more of our economic record, which I think is an excellent one. Creating 2.9 deficit down by 8.2. The end result is that we didn't talk about the economy as much as we should have done.
One of the newspapers today is even suggesting Theresa May had just 10 days to get into shape. But Philip Hammond today insisted he believes she was the person for the job and refused to be drawn on whether or not Theresa May is a second born, a caretaker. What? No, I can't. He believes for now, at least, she should continue.
Okay, Laura, thanks very much for that. Now, Great Manchester Police have begun a murder investigation where a teenager was found dead at a water park in Brighton following what they called a brutal attack. The 18-year-old student was reported missing by her family when she failed to return home from college.
Not disappearing, are you?
Found the remains of 7 sailors who went missing when a destroyer collided with a container ship in the Sea of Japan. USS Fitzgerald suffered heavy damage after crashing into the Philippines-flagged vessel yesterday morning. 2 women have been killed in a bomb attack in a shopping centre in Colombia. 9 others are wounded when the explosive device was detonated in the women's toilet in
Person.
Days live shots from France.
You done it on purpose, little tramp. Do you farm?
Yeah. Emmanuel Macron is a big majority of farmers are helping push through his reform plans. Official data suggests voter turnout is low.
Did you get rockets?
Does it look like
After several days of speculation, it's almost official. Several celebrity news websites in the US have given birth to twins in Los Angeles. Singer and partner Jay-Z already have a 5-year-old daughter, Blue Ivy. They're said to be thrilled and have started sharing the news with their family and closest friends. Nearly 60 people have died in a forest fire in central Portugal. Many of the victims were trapped in their cars as they tried to escape the blaze. The mountainous region of Pittsburgh down Monday. The area was experiencing an extreme heat wave with strong winds fanning the trees. Sky Phillips has...
The wildfires, which are still burning out of control, broke out in a mountainous region of the country 150 miles northeast of the capital, Boston. Most of those who died were in their cars on a road that was suddenly swept by flames, fanned by strong winds. Stunned drivers were confronted by a sea of fire. Police did manage to turn some motorists back and save their lives in the process.
I'm going to give you 10 seconds.
Came too quickly, trapping them in their vehicles. The number of victims became apparent only as the fire retreated and the burnt-out cars were recovered.
1 minute, guys.
Several villages were threatened and these were abandoned.
Yesterday we saw the fire, thought it was very far. I never thought it would come to this side. At 3:30 a.m. my mother-in-law woke me up quickly and we didn't go back to sleep. We were afraid the fire would reach us.
In total, 1,700 firefighters have been sent to the area to try to bring...
Andre! Cool, I'm just going to get 2 bits of blue tack and stick it on the canvas.
Prime Minister described the situation as the biggest
telling you.
human life.
Tell me what, tell me what.
I may get $1 million.
Can get out of the stress, man.
Tyson, eat sausage. Here you go.
The country had been sweltering under a heat wave, seeing temperatures climb to 40 degrees Celsius, though the exact cause of the fires is as yet unknown.
40 degrees and shit.
This is Sky News coming up. We'll be live at Borough Market, which has been allowed to open on a Sunday following the London Bridge attack.
Where's that?
Borough Market.
Where's that?
Oh my god.
Collapse it. What kind of fucking name is that?
Can you get out?
You are so shit.
I'm gonna
was almost a maximum
I just said this will get best.
Mistakes.
Hitler.
But if you've been victim of a medical mistake, the consequences can be life-changing. Most the lawyers are experts at making things easy for you and your family to cope with. You don't just fight for compensation, you work hard to get you the care required to get you better. First for lawyers want to get you back to being you.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's what justice is. To see if you have a medical compensation claim, call 567 78.
My linguist has arrived.
Yeah.
Bitch
out.
He's soul food, not eye candy.
Go. What? Just go up.
Love your body, and it will love you back.
Down, down. What? Answer your phone. Alright, bye. Oi!
What?
Company where happy hands are tasty legs. If you spit blood, you may have the disease and could be on the journey to much worse.
I know you're doing the barbecue today, but fucking I don't know what Denny's doing. He's just sat and playing computer on fucking YouTube shit.
Hi mum, we got Leon Spotty back on YouTube.
Subscription for only £40. Use code JOIN40.
Oh, 10 minutes, you going home?
I should go to pick him up.
No, I have to drop him round. Guys, look, man, why is it all leaking? Sort it out.
Yeah, you've got to wipe it up and stuff.
You do it. I've not put nothing in it.
Yeah, it does that. That's why you got to have a tissue all the time. Have a wet one.
Okay,
Leon. Leon.
Leon.
Leon, go and touch it.
Hello, dear.
Take Tyson with you, you can feed him round there.
I've got a tablet.
And I come straight round there.
What about
a tablet?
It's not going, it's not leaving here. No, it's not. It's going to end up breaking.
I had mine 3 years.
Which is directly opposite Port Door. If you remember, from the night of June 3rd, it was outside this pub that one of the attackers was shot dead by police and police joined us out.
What, Mum?
I imagine it's been quite an emotional couple of days getting back up.
Oh, very much. Everything's gone on, it's just great to get back on
your balls.
Unbelievably good. People were showing a lot of love, a lot of support, all the market traders. It's been
Can I get my weight one there? Can I get my weight one there?
And since then it's just been the Wednesday and Thursday were phenomenal. People were showing us support coming from all over, all the office girls coming.
No, but then Jay's going to start chatting shit.
Jay's got one.
What?
Jay's got his own one, isn't he?
Yeah, but no. Leave them both here, man.
I've got more black one now.
Alright.
We need everyone to come back and let's get on as normal. Let's forget about what's happened. We need people to come back to support the market, not just this market, everyone. We need to support, we need to get back on track. We need...
Okay, Jay's saying he can take... My mum said, yeah, obviously, let him take this round and Jay's going to come round next weekend to get his.
What I'm saying is, one's going to stay here.
Okay, Mum, tell Jay to leave it. No one's taking no tablets in it. It's because
Jay got a tablet. Jay got a tablet.
No, mine's crap.
Jay got a tablet.
Wait.
Has Jay got a working tablet?
That's one.
Last week we felt like that, but we get back to work.
So then what?
I think emotions are very raw with it.
Okay.
Yeah, but you broke your last.
No, Leon.
Have you set his one up?
And then I fell.
But obviously people in the back, which is unbelievable. The support they've got is fantastic. All the help we can get, We're back to work now, we can get back to work.
Yeah, I'll be rendering about 10 minutes.
You've got all your games on it.
Okay, love it, bye.
Yeah, I know.
Wait. No, I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened. Because I was there. Yeah. Jade was sitting down, he's like this. And then Jade went to get up, and then jumped on the sofa onto his tablet.
Exactly. That's what I just said, you dumb.
No, you said Jade pushed it. Lying little fuck, shut up.
You know, to put your games on the front. Right, get this game off. Get dressed.
Wait, I have to get up to the table.
Forget the table.
Some vital evidence in relation to the files being deleted.
I've done it. That's how.
From the kind of stand going to yesterday, people are very angry. You've got to understand that if you've watched the building burn down, you know that the cladding has been set on fire, you know that we've reported to the TMO that runs the building on many occasions that we believe there's a fire hazard, and you've been badly supported by the local authority, that trust is low. At the same time, contractors who dealt with the tower, that had the tower on their websites, proudly saying that they had worked on the tower, and over the last 24 hours have taken off their websites the fact that they worked on the tower. The questions that were being raised yesterday is what else have they got rid of? Have they deleted emails? Have they shredded documents? There's a police investigation. The police have powers under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act to go in to seize computers, emails and documents. People want to hear whether that is in fact happening. It's happened in other cases. It happened in the hacking inquiry where the police went into newspaper offices to seize computers, to seize documents, Is it going to happen in this case? How big is this criminal investigation that's underway? How big is the team? Is it well resourced? Those are the sorts of questions that people understandably were raising with me when I was down there.
But do you have personal evidence that this is happening, or is this just something that you've been told about? And if so, what kind of information is being removed?
It's not for me to determine what that evidence is, it's for the police. But let me be absolutely clear. People have lost their homes, and I have lost a friend. We believe it's a crime, what has happened. We have other major events in this country, and you get a rolling commentary of what the Met are up to. What are they up to in this case? What is Theresa May asking behind the scenes in terms of these questioning? Have they seized these computers? We know contractors are taking things down from their website. What else are they up to? That's what the public want to hear, and that's certainly what the families want to hear in this circumstance. It's not for me to go and look for the evidence. It's for people who pay their taxes, who rely on the local authority and rely on the police to do their job.
Now, I know you've been personally affected by the fire, as you said yourself, but this is a very strong statement that you've made today. Are you concerned that this is perhaps making things worse, because tensions are already very high?
Why is it making things worse exactly? Is it making things worse?
Well, this is the question I'm asking you. I mean, we've seen the tensions that are around the Grenfell Tower issue, of course, rightly so, but do you feel that this is something that might be making things worse?
You will be aware, as a journalist, that there are other major police investigations. Let's say the
investigation. As you fucking use this out,
you get a rolling commentary from the police.
There's a big fucking bottle.
We know, minimum, that 50-odd people have lost their lives.
Where?
Why is it not appropriate, given there's a criminal investigation, for the people...
It's too late now, I've filled it up, innit?
Not to hear a little bit more about this criminal investigation. People are suspicious that when it involves the state, when it involves the local authority, when it involves a failed TMO, when it involves contractors suddenly being so quiet, and we talk about it being a tragedy, they want more than that, actually. They want to know what really is going on, and they expect to hear that from the Prime Minister and others. That is not me stirring the pot. That is me speaking to some of the most vulnerable people in our society.
And we know that there is going to be a public inquiry. That usually takes many, many months. Are you confident that people who are affected will get the answers that they're looking for today?
I hope they'll get the answers. It depends on who leads that public inquiry. It depends on how they engage with families. But what I can tell you, in my experience, it will be years before you really hear anything through a public inquiry. So that's the problem. We also, at the moment, were told that there was a police investigation. We've heard nothing about it since. It's now been 5 days. Your media lens will turn away from this very shortly. You will turn towards the Queen's speech. Life will move on. That's what will happen. The journalists will move on, and many of these issues will not be answered for a significant amount of time. So this is the window to act. This is the window to act, and to hold people to account in circumstances where the vast majority of people think there's been something that amounted to gross negligence.
You also said today that the cladding was banned. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You know, my friend lived on the 20th floor. This fire started at 1. At 4 o'clock she was still alive in her flat. What happened? Why couldn't she get out? Why did the fire spread from one side of the building across the other and upwards? Because of this cladding and because of internal combustion that was clearly going on inside the building as well. These are huge questions, given that residents were raising these issues on successive occasions. Not just once, more than once. These are huge issues, given the decision was made to clad the building so that people on the other side of it could look at something more presentable. So look, people are furious, and so they should be. You would be. If you